inside for Alba. Alba will get the score. Fiddler, his farewell. He tapped into a legend and probably rugby league immortality. That's not a try, that's a miracle.
G'day guys, welcome back to the Rugby League Guru podcast, the round 14 team list. They have just dropped. We're going to stick our fangs into them now and go through all the changes. A couple of big ones here, a couple of big names on extended benches and whatnot. It is a huge week. We'll get stuck into that now. Just a reminder, guys, we have got an episode coming your way tonight on YouTube and on the podcast. We're going to talk about the Latrell Mitchell and the GI comparison. Don't shit yourself and throw your remote at your TV. Come listen to the chat, take it all in and enjoy it. And yes, still scream at the TV. Who gives a fuck? Throw a remote at it. Kathmandu, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm excited for another week of footy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's heating up. All right.
Yeah, she is.
Talk to me, Kat. What do we got?
Right. Game one, we have Thursday, 7:50 p.m. The Newcastle Knights taking on the Manly Seagulls up at McDonald Jones Stadium.
The 1997 grand final replay. This one will be a cracker. I've seen a few things around socials that I think they're doing something to commemorate that. Shout out to the Knights fans who absolutely shit down Newcastle's throat on social media when they tried to celebrate that as well. Gave me a little giggle. Kalyn Ponga, he returns at fullback, a huge in. Brodie Jones, he moves into the front row forward spot. Newcastle absolutely decimated through the middle. Greg Margie has been named on the extended bench. I think he will return this week. And Hastings, he's in jersey 18. An interesting watch next week when KP goes to Origin camp. I believe the Knights are playing. They moved Fletcher Sharp to fullback last time. Tyson Gamble injured. Might be the last man standing, Jackson, to play in the halves. We'll see how that plays out. For the Manly Seagulls, Jake Trbojevic returns at jersey 13. Jazz Tavanga, he moves back to the bench. Still no sign of Jason Saab. Tom Trbojevic rested for another week as well. Anthony Seibold just sticking the middle finger to all my Supercoach teams, Kat. And I'm not appreciating it, and I'm not taking it well.
No, I want to shout out to Clayton Fololo, who played incredibly well. I'm actually excited to see him a second week in a row.
Yeah, he might be the 8th best outside back at Manly, and he's hectic.
Yeah,
it's
he's
wild,
hectic.
the depth they've got. Very impressive.
All
Friday
right.
night.
Friday, we have the Melbourne Storm taking on the North Queensland Cowboys at 6 p.m. at Amy Park in Melbourne.
Big in here for the Melbourne Storm is Harry Grant. He was away last week. He was away. It's a weird way to say that. He didn't play last week, and the Melbourne Storm looked completely different. So Harry Grant is in, an enormous in there. The bench, Wishy, Garlic, Tui, and Nass. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some changes there. A bit surprised Alec McDonald not in the side, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see some changes. Still no sign of Bahulu on their extended or anywhere. I think you'll see him in the coming weeks. For the Cowboys, no huge changes here. Sam McIntyre, he's been named at probably played limited minutes last week. But outside of that, the Cowboys are pretty much good to go off the back of last week. Late game Friday, Kat.
Yeah, speaking of Queensland teams, we've got the Dolphins taking on the Dragons at Suncorp Stadium. This one kicks off at 8 p.m.
For the Finn, Hamiso at fullback, Oren Keeley has been named on the edge. Raymond Stone in jersey 13. The big news for the Dolphins, though, is on their extended bench. You have got Jeremy Marshall-King and Max Plath there, so fingers crossed. One of, if not both of those guys, return this week because they do need them. You've still got Donahoe named at 9, but that'll be 2 enormous ins for the Dolphins. For the Dragons, big news, big Supercoach news as well. Lawson, obviously the Rugby 7 star who came over, he made his debut over the weekend. I thought he looked really good. I was actually saying to someone this morning who said I'm going to trade him in. I said, he's still an injury or two away. And I sort of said if I was the coach, I'd probably pick him over Sloan based off what I saw in that one game. It's actually the decision that Flano's made. So Sloan out of the side, Lawson onto the right wing outside of Sully, and Couchman, he's been named on the edge as well. And that's how the Dragons will line up in this one. No other big changes outside of that. Super Saturday, Kat. One less game on Super Saturday.
Yeah, one less game because we have a very exciting game on Monday, one to look forward to. But Saturday, 5:30 p.m, we have the Sharks taking on the Warriors at Shark Stadium. The SJ Cup.
The SJ Cup, very good to see. Now, shout out to all you listeners. Maybe take the better half out for a lunch on Saturday afternoon. You've got until 5:30. You got to play eyes up footy sometimes, Kathmandu, and I think this might be the time to do it. Sharkies, Katoa, he returns on the wing. Wilton returns on the edge as well. No other huge changes there for the Sharkies. For the Wars, obviously Mitchie Barnett, he has been ruled out for the season with an ACL injury. Devastating stuff for the Warriors, for the Blues as well, but mainly the Warriors. He's been so good for them. But it's a really good opportunity for the Warriors to test their culture over there and see these guys step up. Jackson Ford, he's been amazing over the last few months, so I'm sure he'll do a job. But for forward, he'll obviously start at prop for Barnett. Lecker, he comes onto the edge because Capewell moves to the centres because Berry's out of this one. So, a couple of changes there for the Warriors, but once again, a really good opportunity to test their culture and their character at the moment, which is just, it's passing with flying colours. Late game Saturday.
7:35 p.m. kickoff. We have the Brisbane Broncos taking on the Gold Coast Titans. This one is at Suncorp Stadium.
Ooh, back-to-back days at Suncorp. For the Bronx, Reece Walsh returns at fullback, their superstar back in the one jersey. We sort of spoke about in the preseason that I didn't like the move in the first place, and I'm good to see them go back to this. Paddy Carrigan, he will play in jersey 13, which means that Corey Jensen will start at prop. Pea Kura gets his opportunity on the edge, and Takura will also be on the bench. I'll tell you what, against this Titans side, Madge needs a response out of his team very, very quickly. Back at home, this is a game they should win and win well. Big test. For the Titans, Fitzgibbon, he is on the wing. Jojo Fafita ruled out of this one. Not sure why that is. Mulaney's in jersey 9 as well. No Sam Verrills this week. But the big news, AJ Brimson. He's been named on the extended bench as it stands. I believe he is still under the 11-day stand-down policy with the concussions and whatnot, but I think they're challenging it. I think I've heard physio talk about this before, that usually if you challenge it, you can kind of get away with it. So I'm expecting Brimson to line up in this one, but we'll wait and see there. Sunday afternoon footy, Cat. What do we got?
Sunday, 2 p.m. It's going to be a good game. Canberra Raiders against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. This one's at GAO, and a lot of players returning for the Rabbitohs here.
Yes, we'll start with the Raiders. Now, Starling returns from suspension, so he's in the 9, Paddy in the 14. Interesting to see Jamal Fogarty named. Now, from what I've gathered, it's a groin injury. Now, with a guy at Fogarty's age, with the Raiders having a bye next week, I think they're batshit crazy to be playing Fogarty this week. I'm going to call Ricky's bluff and say he doesn't play this week. I think he's playing mind games with South Sydney, but I think you've got to get up a little bit earlier than that to pull one on Wayne Bennett. So I'm expecting Sanders to line up at 7 with a bye next week. I don't know why he'd risk Fogarty in this game, especially after they had such a good win the other night against the Roosters. I can't see it happening, but we'll see how it plays out. For the Bunnies, Jack Whiten has been named at centre. Tass is on the wing. Cody Walker returns at 5'8". Enormous news there for South Sydney. An interesting one for me, though, is that Bud Sullivan moves from 5'8", jersey 14, so Jai Gray's out of the team altogether. A guy that was leading the Dally M medal 6 weeks ago, out of the team altogether. I think that's a little bit harsh, personally. And other good news for South Sydney, Ty Munro named on the extended as well. So if Ty Munro is available, I would assume he comes in for Isaiah Tass. So South Sydney, they've kept their head above water whilst it's all been a little bit fucked the last few weeks. Now it's starting to come together and they're looking like a really good footy side. So an interesting watch over the next few weeks, the Bunnies. Late game Sunday, Kat?
Late game Sunday, 4:05. When that's the late game, that's great. It's the Tigers versus the Penrith Panthers. This one is at CommBank Stadium.
Shout out to the Tigers who have taken their home games against Panthers and Eels to CommBank Stadium of late. Huge, this one. First time Jerome Luai plays against his former club, so I'm really excited to see how that one plays out. For the Tigers, big news, Jarrell Skelton returns on the wing. Shout out to my draft team. Christ, we needed that. All three Finus are featuring in this one. And Latu, he's returning from, I believe, a thumb injury into a hamstring injury. He will be in jersey 14. Heath Mason, after killing it last week, named in the 6 still. Keep an eye on a late change there, but I probably think that's how they'll line up. Tony Sakar, he's been named on the edge. Alex Seyfarth moves to jersey 13, which I like. And congratulations to Charlie Murray. I don't know too much about him. A lock forward making his debut off the bench, so good to see. For the Panthers, no big changes here. Origin players, they have no choice. They've got to just show up again and get the job done. They have to win this game. The only things worth noting on their extended bench, Isaiah Papali'i, Alamotti and Garner. Alamotti played reserve grade last week at centre, I believe. I thought he was, in and out of the team for injury. I think it might be form. So an interesting watch there. IPAP, he returns from injury. Maybe comes onto the bench to play through the middle, but I think Sorensen will hold on to that edge. So keep an eye on the Panthers extended, but not much else to touch on. Monday, Cat. Oh, boy. Talk to me.
Monday, 4 p.m. We have the Bulldogs playing at Parramatta at Accor Stadium. A great game to round out a long weekend.
For the Doggies, Kiraz returns on the wing. Josh Curran named on the edge. And the big news, I think it's jersey 23. Lockie Galvin has been named. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. If I was a betting man, which I am, I'm just not very good at it, I would suggest Galvin starts on the bench in this game. I reckon he'll be jersey 17. And I reckon in 2 or 3 weeks' time, he will be the halfback. So keep an eye on that situation. But that's my prediction for Galvin. For the Para Eels, they are essentially 1 to 17. Jack Williams has been named at prop. But he's named there every single week. He moves to the the edge. Moretti starts. So we'll see if Jason Ryles plays silly buggers again, but I probably think that he will. I reckon the Eels are a serious shout at an upset in this game. I just think the whole Galvin thing, his first game, I can see Parramatta getting up for this one. I don't think they're the same team they were at the start of the season. And the bye round this week is the Sydney Roosters. So obviously no news out of there, but I've heard reports that Sam Walker will make his return via New South Wales Cup. So a big watch there in New South Wales Cup. Might be the most important game in New South Wales Cup of the week, maybe the year, seeing how Sam Walker returns. So if he's playing Cup that week, you would have to assume that he'll probably come back into the Roosters side the week after. So plenty to watch there at the Roosters with Sam Walker. All right, guys, that will do us for Team List Tuesday in round 14. We've got a special episode coming your way tonight of the Guru podcast. That'll be live at 8 p.m. tonight. The Latrell Mitchell and GI comparison, pros, cons, reality checks, a little bit of ownership, everything going on in there. So make sure you're there at 8 p.m. tonight. Latrell v. Greg Inglis, the comparison there. Thanks for joining us once again, guys, on the Rugby League Guru podcast.